What's up, you guys? Putting that in the video. What? What's up, you guys? This is Sarita and Xavier here, and this is something different. Spare the moment. What's up, you guys? This is Sarita and Xavier here. If you guys did not know our real names, so this is something different for our channel. Yes, this is our vacation channel, but because it's Valentine's Day, we decided to do something quick and spare the moment. My husband has been doing a lot of research on lobster tails, and we just wanted to do a simple dinner for couples for Valentine's Day, or singles, it doesn't matter, whatever. You still have to love yourself, self-love, cook for yourself, or for your family, or for your spouse, whatever. So we wanted to show you guys how to bake some lobster tails with some garlic butter. We're also gonna make some asparagus and some mashed potatoes on the side, and also some fried cake for dessert. So if you guys want to know how to do it, this is our first time, so don't be too hard on us. So if you wanna stay tuned, we'll be happy if you do. And also subscribe to our channel and hit the like button and leave a comment down below if you liked the video. So hope you guys enjoy and just stay tuned.
All right. Well, and she failed to mention that it is Valentine's Day.
I did say it was Valentine's Day.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. So it's Valentine's Day, and the simple fact, it's COVID, and you don't necessarily want to go out with all the crowds and everything. We celebrated last week, but we wanted to do something a little bit more intimate in the house for Valentine's Day. So we thought about this recipe and hope you guys enjoy.
Yep, and not to mention, we do have 2 children, and they are here at the house. So I know sometimes it's hard doing it that way as well, but put those kids to sleep. Maybe you have to wait later on in the evening to do this, but hey, put those kids to sleep, make them busy somewhere else, and go ahead and have your time. This is something fun, quick, and easy, and cheap to do. Also, the lobster tails were from Publix, and they were
about $5 a tail.
$5 a tail, and we got 4 tails, so that's like less than $20. The asparagus is next to nothing, and especially if you're cooking for 2, it's not that expensive. And pound cake from Publix, not expensive. So if you're looking for something cheap to do every day, today, it doesn't matter, definitely stay tuned, and hope you guys enjoy.
All right, let's get it. Let's get to cooking.
Okay, you guys, thanks so much for staying tuned. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and wash your hands, of course. Even though you're cooking for 2, you want to go ahead and wash your hands. Make sure your hands are all clean before you start. And yes, I did wash my hands as well.
Okay, guys, here we have 4 lobster tails from Publix. Again, I paid about $5 a piece for them. So first thing you want to do, you want to clean them, wash them real good, and get ready for the next piece.
All right, so the next step we are going to do, as you can see, the tails will always come with these little legs or feet or whatever you call them at the bottom. So you will have to cut these off of each one of the tails. So you just want to take some kitchen shears. Try not to use regular scissors. But if you don't have kitchen shears, if you are using regular scissors, try to sanitize them as much as possible. But we do have some clean, sanitized kitchen shears, and you just want to snip them at the very bottom. Their feet on either side, and there's also a set of really small, a little tougher feet at the very end of the tail. You're going to see that in a bit, so cut those off. And you want to cut these 2 off as well. I forgot these, but that is very important. Go ahead and snip those off, and there you go, all nice and clean. And I will go ahead and try to attempt to cut some as well, and we'll just speed this up for you guys.
All right, you guys, now that we've cut the legs, now we're going to begin the process of removing the meat. First step you want to do is take your lobster tail and cut the actual shell right down the middle. It can be a little tough, but I recommend just cutting it all the way down to the end.
Yep, so as he said, you want to cut it all the way down to the end there because there was a lot of hidden meat down there. So you definitely want to cut it all the way back. So now we're going to begin the process of actually lifting the meat out of the shell, like you see it on videos and pictures and restaurants. You actually have to do this yourself. So you want to run your finger down the back of the shell, your finger or your thumb. And this part can be a little tough. These shells are sharp. So running your finger down the back of it actually lifts the meat from that part of the shell. So you're literally lifting and ripping the meat from the bottom of the shell, and the shell cracked. This was kind of tough, but I do feel like we should have cut it a little bit further back than what we did. So that's how it looks. When you see it in pictures and videos and restaurants, it doesn't come like that. You have to do it yourself. So I'm going to attempt this, and let's try it one more time. You guys can see it again. All right, so like I said, you want to run your finger down the back of it, and I see, I forgot to snip those two legs off. Run your thumb. I find the thumb is a little bit easier down the back, and you want to pull that meat up, and the shell may crack. It's okay if it cracks. You're just trying to lift that meat up, and yeah, it was a little tedious, but we got it done. All right, y'all, so we did the best we could. It was a struggle. A lot of people do say they struggle with this part of it. This was the best that we can do. The first two was okay, and then to the end, it kind of got a little sketchy, but I mean, they didn't break apart too much, and this is our first time, so we really have to get the skill, the technique of it. But yeah, they look pretty good. So the next step we are going to do is go ahead and make the garlic butter to go ahead and season these. And yes, we are going to bake these today.
All right, you guys, now we're getting ready to begin the process of making the garlic butter that we're going to use for our lobster tails. So as you see here, we have unsalted butter. I'll recommend using the unsalted brand rather than the actual salted brand, being that we will be seasoning the actual butter itself. All right, you guys, you have to excuse our children in the background. Next step, we're going to actually take the butter itself and put it in the bowl. As you see here, I sliced it in half so it'll fit nice and neatly inside the bowl. All right, now next up, you're going to put the bowl inside of the microwave. I would generally recommend you microwave the butter for about 30 seconds. As you see, the butter is all melted. You'll still have a little bit of loose particles right there. You just take a spoon and just stir it up a little bit.
All right, so now onto what you're going to put in the butter. You can use real garlic, but we did have a jar of minced garlic in the fridge, and that works just as well. So you can kind of eyeball this, but he decided to use about 2 full teaspoons of this. You do want it very garlicky. And the next thing you want to do is go ahead and stir that up. So your next ingredient is regular salt. So like I said, you can do this by eye and by taste. And you want to also put some thyme leaves in here. Parsley, salt, and minced garlic are the 3 ingredients we use in this butter. And as you can see, it looks great. Now you can do this to taste if you want to use some Lawry seasoning or like an all seasoning type of thing. You can use this to give it a little color and just a little bit of oomph. So also you want to use a little bit of black pepper. Go ahead and sprinkle that right on the tail. So we didn't put this in the butter. Go ahead and sprinkle the pepper right on the tails.
As you see, we also put a little bit of salt on the actual lobster tail itself. And then we put a little bit of pepper and parsley directly on the actual lobster tail. Next step, take a brush and brush the actual garlic butter that you just made on the actual lobster tail. Be sure you rub it really good so that you get all the seasoning on the actual lobster tail. And do not forget to actually put a little bit of garlic butter on the bottom of the actual lobster tail. A lot of people, they tend to forget that part, which I found that from a actual YouTuber.
So as you can see, they are looking really, really, really awesome and tasty, and they're not even cooked yet. So what you want to do is get a baking pan and some canola spray, and you want to spray it on the foil. Definitely foil your pan and then oil the foil. And you want to place the lobster tails on the tray. My husband did have a particular way he wanted them placed just to make it look a little bit more fancy, but you can place them on the tray any way you like. And the next step is adding more butter. So you want to adjust them. And yes, we went ahead and added a little bit more butter. Yes, they look awesome, don't they? Yes, so we added a little bit more butter, and we added some lime juice. This is something my husband saw from another YouTuber as well. You just want to sprinkle it on. I did want to sprinkle it some too, but I think I put a little bit too much, but it's okay. It still came out great. Even if you overdo that step, it is perfectly fine. And they look amazing. So at this step, I did go ahead and take a pause and went ahead and started grilling my asparagus because once you do the lobster tails, you want to eat those fresh. So we didn't cook them until we finished the sides, which was the mashed potatoes and the asparagus. All I did was add a little olive oil, some Lowry seasoning, and a little bit of salt, and I just grilled them. I also added a little bit of the butter that we put on the lobster tail as well, just to give it some garlic flavor. So garlic flavor, butter, salt, seasoning salt, and a little bit of olive oil, and that was it. Super, super simple. All right, so with the asparagus out the way, we are going to broil these tails. And when you broil them, make sure you put them on the bottom rack and let them cook. All right, 15 minutes later, these bad boys are looking delicious.
They look delicious.
So after 15 minutes of broiling them, they should look like this. He had to get a Snapchat in, you guys. He was so proud.
It was awesome.
They look great. So we definitely recommend broiling and not baking. And stick to 15 minutes, nothing more, nothing less, depending on the size of the tail. So at this point, you do want to go ahead and brush a little bit of your butter on the tail after it baked, just to give it that extra oomph and that extra bit of glaze at the end, so you can really taste all that garlic flavor when you go to plate it.
Good old finishing touches.
And now on to the plating. This is my favorite part. Go ahead and take your asparagus, and let me tell you, they tasted wonderful with that same garlic butter, and nothing with the garlic was overwhelming. Even though we used the butter on the mashed potatoes, the garlic butter on the asparagus and the tails, it wasn't overwhelming. It was very, very flavorful. And here is the star of the show. Yes, this looks amazing.
Delicious.
We could not wait to eat it. So of course you have to pair it with a little bit of red wine for the occasion. And this is the final result.
Now time for dessert. As you see here, we have 2 thick pieces of cut pound cake from Publix. As you see here, my wife is cutting the strawberry that we'll use for the finishing touches for our dessert. Again, on this part, to actually fry the cake, you're going to use sweet cream butter instead of the unsalted butter. Put it in a pan. From here, you're going to take your sliced pound cake and you're going to put it on the pan. Looks delicious already.
All right, guys, so you want to place your pound cake directly in the butter, and this part will go fast. I definitely recommend cooking it on low and keeping your eye on the cake because it can burn if you leave it too fast, leave it on too long. So you want to go ahead and check the bottom and flip them over literally after a few seconds. Flip them over and they should come out golden brown just like this. Look at that result. So this is my husband's favorite part. He takes a little scoop of ice cream and we go ahead and garnish the cake with a little bit of strawberry. And the taste is amazing. It is buttery, salty, but sweet at the same time.
Looks delicious.
And I like to garnish mine with a little bit of whipped cream. Thanks so much for staying tuned, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our first cooking video together as a couple. I feel like it was really easy. How did you feel like you did first time with the lobster tails?
I mean, it was good. It was good. It was well worth. Actually, this year Valentine's was very memorable and very personable.
This is our first time.
Yeah, our first time actually being home. I went back and I looked at. Every year we've always went out to eat on Valentine's Day, made reservations to eat. And I was like, this year, I want to do something a little bit more personal since we're, in our home actually for the second year. But it's like, but it was really good. It was really good. Would I do it again? Absolutely. It was very, very good.
The pandemic changed some stuff, but it really felt good too. Because we never did this before. We never cooked as a couple. And it's very intimate and it's very
usually
personable.
I'm the one cooking.
I cook.
I'm the one cooking.
He never shouts out my cooking. Like I've
It's good. Now when she does cook, it is awesome. Very, very good. It is very good. But I'm saying when
he's the steak. He likes grilling
I
and
like
steaks. He's like Mr. Steak, Mr. Grill. Yeah.
It's like I cook the steak, but I can barely eat the steak.
Yes, that's true.
But that's special. I like it.
But this was fun.
Yeah, I would do this again. I'll recommend.
Just a random day.
I mean, if you just home and want to do something more personal, I would definitely try out the lobster with the asparagus. Asparagus was awesome. Actually, this was my first time ever eating asparagus. I like green beans, but asparagus was very good.
And his specialty is the fried cake. Like he made that for my mom, his mom, me, and his sister for Mother's Day last year, and it was the bomb. The fried cake is the bomb, and it's really simple: pound cake, butter, strawberries.
And top it up with some ice cream.
So cooking is not difficult.
Very good.
Very, very easy. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we're gonna close this video out with a little toast. I hope you guys enjoyed y'all's Valentine's Day, and I hope you come back and visit our channel.
Again.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
So hey, thanks for staying.